When you want to order me another one, I'll take the proper bills, please. We're live on YouTube right now.
We're live.
Yeah, nobody's watching now,
all right.
So you got some time.
Okay.
We're also live on Matt Green at Glocker Real Estate. Anybody that's watching will see that High Street is our
special guest,
featured guest today.
Yes.
Amy and I are a little bit in the dark, but we're here
just physically, not
literally,
not figuratively. We're in the know.
We're literally in the dark, not figuratively
right.
in the dark. And thanks for tuning in, folks, on Facebook, Matt Green at Glocker Real Estate. Now I start to see the people are rolling into the show. Thanks for tuning in.
Welcome.
Yes, welcome back. It's
Welcome
been a little
back,
bit
Mr.
of a break.
Cotter.
Yeah. Don't forget that we're also on YouTube, Porchcast Pottstown on YouTube. We're still looking for more subscribers over there in order to bump up our subscribership.
What are we?
We're
what
at
are we
81.
Up to? Ooh.
We picked up some subscribers while we were off the air on our break, but it could have been because we
real
went
people
and talked.
are real people or bots.
I don't know.
Yeah.
It seems like real
we'll take
people.
It. Yeah.
I think some of them were Rotarians. Because we talked at the Rotarians. We talked to the Rotarians.
Invited last week to speak at the Rotary Club of Potstown Wednesday meeting, which was very nice of them to invite us. Lovely folks. We had a great time. And I love my bird cage. I don't know where I'm going to put it. What I'm going to do with it.
My bluebird box is super nice, and I'm going to need...
It's specifically a bluebird?
Mine's a bluebird box.
Is that because of how it's shaped?
Yeah.
That bluebirds like that shape?
They're
so
attracted
the bluebird
that.
The bird cage that Matt got is like long and skinny. Mine is shorter and squatter and purple and adorable.
Yeah.
But I haven't put it outside yet.
Yours is going to attract like finches and smaller birds like that.
Right.
Yeah.
It's so pretty. I don't want it to get wrecked.
Right. Maybe just go to Home Depot or something and spray some clear coat over it.
Yeah.
That might help.
Right. Or could I put it, hang it underneath my side porch, my Porchcast porch?
Yeah.
Hang it, and then I could see the birds from my kitchen.
Yeah.
Right?
That might be the thing to do.
Right.
I do want to thank the Rotarians, the Rotary Club of Potstown. They've been huge supporters of
Yes, they
Porchcast
have.
Pottstown.
And we've had many Rotarians as guests.
We have.
Yes.
And I just want to really thank them for supporting the show. I mean, as individual Rotarians and also the organization, we get a lot of support from the Rotary.
Yes.
So thank you.
We might have a Rotarian here with us tonight.
I believe my stepmother is in attendance today.
So if you don't recognize where Matt and I are, we are at the pub, Potstown United Brewing on High Street, and we have only been talking about doing a show from pub for, I don't know, like 2 years.
Yes.
We didn't really do a recon mission, so we are... If we had known what we were doing, we would have brought some lights with us so that we could front light our faces. But whatever, live and learn.
Live and learn.
Nobody really needs to see us anyway. They can see our profiles here.
That's right.
Well, hello to everybody, to Judy and Bill Brogley. Hi, Jamie. Hi, Diane Cherry Crum. It looks like you had a great vacation. I enjoyed your pictures a lot.
Yeah, I saw
I especially enjoyed, Diane, that you were wearing your Go Forth shirt during a lot of those pictures.
Yeah, she traveled all throughout the American West.
Yes.
Some really cool places, too. Yeah.
Really, really neat. So welcome back. Glad that you had a nice trip. So Diane was one of our volunteers at Go Forth, as were you.
I was.
As were a lot of folks watching. So I would say thank you very much to all of our volunteers. If you don't mind me talking about Go Forth a little bit.
I want to talk about Go Forth. I think it's an appropriate thing to do on our first show back.
We got a lot of catching up and to do.
Well, here's the other reason, too. One of the major reasons why we took the break that we did was so that you could coordinate things for Go Forth.
It was a pretty busy time. June was pretty frantic.
Yeah, so it'll explain the break.
Yes.
And it'll also let people know what you think about how it went.
Yes. It was, by all measures, a huge success. And that was very much thank you to the weather. Thank you, God, for finally giving us good weather. Although I was frantically watching the radar all day, watching, because July is so weird. A lot of just little microstorms pop up out of nowhere and then disappear. But we were very grateful for the weather. We had amazing volunteers that came out and helped. We had to beg and plead people to come and help us, but we did have a lot of folks show up, and those volunteers that showed up were fantastic. We had a lot of really hard workers and people that really gave us a lot of time and good energy. We had excellent sponsors who were very generous to us, and a lot of donors, so business sponsors and donors that were very, very generous to us. And the community came out a lot. There was a lot of people here. I mean, Matt, you were here for a good part of the day. I don't even know if we can estimate how many folks came out for the course of the day. You were here in the morning.
I took the morning shift, and I got down to the park about 7:30.
Yeah.
And then
Which we really appreciate, that morning shift, because there's a lot of tents and banners and things going up.
So I set up the welcome and information booth tent, which I then manned. Mm-hmm. I set up the tents for the beer garden and for some of the food vendors. I helped Kristen from Beverly's and Adam from right here at Pub set that up, and helped set up the tents over at the clock tower that you had, because you had an information booth or a swag table.
We were selling merchandise and
we're bringing you the merch.
It was kind of the anchor for the kids zone.
Yeah, so I set that up, and then I went back to the park.
Did you get to watch the parade?
No.
Okay.
I actually was answering some questions at the information booth. People were asking about what to do, where to go, et cetera, et cetera. But I would say, at least for the time that I was in the park, at the highest point, there was probably a couple hundred people milling around in Smith Plaza.
In the park itself.
Just in Smith Plaza.
The park was really a great place to anchor. We had the bands down there, and Adam was selling food and beer, and we had tables set up. So it was it's just such a beautiful park, and there's a lot of really nice shade. That was what a lot of people really enjoyed about the having the festival downtown, was that there was a lot of shade, places to kind of escape from the heat.
Yeah, I guess because you get it from the street trees, and then also the buildings create some shade. You have shade at Smith Plaza.
Right.
It's a little less wide open than
the Memorial Park is beautiful, but there's no escape. You can't get away from the sun
unless you're right in that center part.
Yeah. So all the attendees seem to enjoy it. Of course, first was the parade presented by Potstown Rotary Club, and that was a great success. Thanks in part to the parade coordinator, Deb Penrod, who's sitting right behind the camera. She's listening on her phone. And Go Forth worked with the Rotary Club to present the parade, and it was a really nice collaboration. And overall, it was really it was spectacular. And then we had a great night for fireworks, which was a fantastic show by International Fireworks up in Douglasville.
Okay.
And
let me ask you
good
this.
all the way around.
What kind of feedback did you get from the business owners? Because the whole purpose of doing it on the street was to bring more attention and more business to places like Pub.
Yes, so that was one of the main reasons that we did it, to bring people to downtown. So they're already here for the parade. Let's get them to stay and check out some of these businesses that they might have not visited otherwise. So the businesses that were open were very receptive and had a great day. Adam was closed here, but he was set up down at the park,
he was garden
jamming all day, selling beer and burgers and stuff.
He had a line, literally, as Kristen and I were setting up the table for the beer garden.
Right.
There was people lining up before they were even done. Before we were even done setting up.
Yeah, before they even had their cash register plugged in. Yeah.
So he was happy.
Yes, and I understand that Iron Gate and the Alley both had great days as well. Mm-hmm. And there was, I don't know what other restaurants were open. The Avenue, Welcome to the Avenue was open.
What about J.J. Radigan's?
And Radigan's was pretty crowded all day also.
Any of the shops in the Potstown Terminal?
Were they open at all? I don't know if they were. They were? So Amy and I tried to get around to most of the places, but we, it's a busy day, so we were trying to get around at least to see our vendors and crafters and people that had signed, that were selling on the street, and the other business. Yeah.
We're getting some off-air comments.
Yes, that's okay.
Here's
Yeah.
Here's another thing that I was going to say, and I want to just remind everybody that the comment section is open both on YouTube and Facebook. So
Yes.
if you have some feedback for Amy about the parade, the street festival, the fireworks, et cetera, please put it in the comments.
Yep.
And let us know what you think.
Yeah. And let us know if you're. But like I said, most of the people watching right now were actually here as volunteers. Your mom volunteered.
Right.
I also do want to give a super shout out to the folks that came on Monday and cleaned up.
Yeah.
So like I know Jamie Sanchez is here watching. She was with us on Monday for cleanup. It's such a spectacular crew on cleanup, and that is. It's pretty sweltering out there, cleaning up the fireworks debris and cleaning up the park. And we definitely left the park cleaner than we found it.
Okay.
And then we came downtown and we swept. We did a kind of a police line through downtown and cleaned up downtown. And we're really proud of our volunteers and how we leave things cleaner than we found them.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's fun. We do have a good time. It's a lot of work, but we have a lot of laughs.
I vote for it to be a street fair moving forward. See what I did there?
I see what you did there. Yes. Yeah, we loved it. We had some hiccups this year because it was the first time we were doing Street Fest.
Right.
But we did what we set out to do, which was to have a really great festival that was free. We had amazing, great kids' activities for free. And the kids could Children's Discovery Center was here.
Right.
Emmanuel Lutheran Church had a big 2 tents set up with games, and the kids could win little prizes. The Lions Club had a table set up with games, and the Boy Scouts. There was tons of stuff that the kids could do for free. We had free face painting, all of that free. Free. Yeah, we're generous. I will give a shout out to Reading Orthodontic Group, who sponsor our Kids Zone. Very generous. They've been with us for a long time, and they're really generous to sponsor our Kids Zone every year.
Jeff Frederick from Glocker Realty, who I do the cast at Glocker with.
Yep.
A couple of weeks ago, we fired up the cast at Glocker again, too. You can check us out on Wednesdays at 6-ish. But anyway, we had a show that was devoted to all the free things that you can do, not just in Pottstown, but Boyertown, the surrounding area.
Yep.
We ran out of time.
Talking about all the free stuff.
Stuff. And the parks and all the events that happen throughout the area that are 100% free to attend. It was an interesting conversation.
So if you're looking,
you will find it. And just between these two towns, between Pottstown and Boyertown, you could keep yourself busy for an entire season.
Right.
Spring, summer, winter, fall. You could keep yourself busy.
Yep.
I had a good conversation with Jamie Sanchez at the alley on High Street. I was there for the Edgewood Cemetery fundraiser.
Yep, I was out of town. I'm sorry I missed it.
It was a good time.
Yeah.
I sat with Audra the Hammer Ross and our friend Bronwyn D. Maceo and Jamie Sanchez, who was there with Miles Feather.
Yep.
Myself and Chris Golden went down to that.
Nice.
We had a good time. They raised some money.
Yeah, we do. Wolf Baldwin donated the very popular scratch-off ticket raffle item.
Some rando guy just won
All right.
that.
Well, I hope that he won some money.
I got a new grill, which I didn't need.
Nice.
I put the number down on the Chinese auction thinking that would spur some competition.
And then that was it?
It didn't. So I got a new grill for $251.
Great.
If anybody wants to purchase from me, give me a call.
I know. Talk to
We'll
Levi
work
Wolf
something out.
because we were just talking about getting a new grill, maybe.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's a really nice Cuisinart
We're talking about
pellet
actually.
grill.
Because we were just talking about getting a permanent gas hookup to our grill.
Oh yeah.
So we don't have to.
A dedicated hard line.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, we're talking about maybe possibly converting from oil heat to gas.
Yeah.
And Levi's like, well, we might as well throw the gas grill on there too while we're at it. So.
I thought about that too at my old house because I had a tank. I had a bottle for our stove, and I was just going to run a splitter off the bottle and run it to my gas grill. Never got around to it.
Right.
Jamie Sanchez is saying that she thinks the Street Fest was a hit.
Thank you. I do too.
Get all the businesses to participate.
Yeah, so it is difficult. Oh, I want to say hi to my mom. Hi, Mom. So we hope to have more of the existing merchants participate next year. We had a couple of things working against us this year. The first was we were very late getting started. Obviously, because of COVID, we were a little bit behind the eight ball with planning. So we didn't really start planning in earnest until the end of April.
Right.
Which is, it's 2 months. It's May and June, and a lot of people have already made plans. They go away. 4th of July was on a Sunday, so they're like, oh, that starts my vacation week, or that ends my vacation week. So that was working against us, and also we were an unknown entity, so people weren't sure how big it was going to be and if it was worth it. You know, and for folks like Josh at the very best, right across the street here, he was open the night before for the car show, and he's one guy and one other person. It's a lot for him. It's not like he's got a ton of staff.
I've talked to him, and it's a volume thing for him.
Yeah.
He's just not certain that he can handle the volume.
Sure.
But he's been open for the car shows.
Yeah, and we hope that he participates next year, because people would love that. Barrister's also across the street was open. They were jammed all day.
Right.
So they definitely had a great day. So, yeah.
Good.
We'll,
I'm looking forward to more street festival.
Yeah, thank you. Hi, Holly.
Stetler Parker, thanks for tuning in. We're
Holly,
happy to
Holly
be back
is at
as well.
TCN. TCN is our fiscal agent for Go Forth. So we... they manage the 501c3 under which we operate. So thank you to TCN for the financial support and oversight, if you will. And we work closely with Holly. Thank you very much.
The Bainbridges have joined us.
Yes,
from
we
the
have a couple of neighborhood folks here. Terry and Jake Fetterman are here, and the Bainbridges. Yeah.
Levi Wolf.
Levi Wolf is
Deb
here.
Penrod.
Deb Penrod.
All the Porchtonians, all the cool kids are at pub.
Actually, the originator of the terminology Porchtonian is here.
That's
that was
correct. Dar Bainbridge came up with
Yeah.
Porchtonian.
Yeah, I'm just looking at the view here. It's like us in profile and a fire. What is that thing called? A fire
That's
hydrant.
A fire hydrant.
And a fire hydrant.
But High Street is our special guest.
High Street
today.
is looking glorious, as it always does every summer with its hanging baskets, which I would rival any other downtown in the country.
That's a bold statement, Amy Wolf.
To have
that is bold.
Streetscaping that is as beautiful as ours.
Not saying I don't like it, just saying it's bold.
We have the most beautiful planters, and our Smith Family Plaza is absolutely stunning.
Agreed.
Those big giant planters, it's gorgeous.
No, if you go to the Porchcast Pottstown YouTube page,
that's the front
banner on Porchcast Pottstown on our YouTube page is Smith Family Plaza.
Yep.
So go check that out.
Can you see who's watching over there on YouTube? Is Jay
no,
Morris?
I can't.
Is Jay Morris
Somebody
watching?
is watching. He might be.
Okay.
He has a tendency to like it on YouTube.
On YouTube, yeah.
Because he can cast it to his television.
TV, right. Well, I'm going to send a shout out to Jay Morris. His Eye on Potstown page, which is a pretty big community page. He's got thousands and thousands, like 5,000 members there. They undertook a initiative for a what do you call it? Man, I'm like at a loss for words today.
A petition.
A petition. Thank you. A petition to approach Borough Council and the police with because of the reckless driving issue that we have in Potstown.
Yeah.
We talked about this last year. Last year it was motorcycles zooming up and down and all over the place.
During the pandemic, especially.
It was especially bad last year with motorcycles. I don't hear them quite as badly.
No, the motorcycle guys aren't around as much.
Yeah.
I knew where the motorcycle guys were emanating from because it was near the community garden.
Right.
And I haven't seen that same set of guys around.
Right.
So they must have gotten rid of the motorcycles or whatever else.
Thank you.
Is
What's
that
that for?
a donation?
Oh.
Oh, all right. You can leave it as a
We'll
tip
get
for
it.
them.
So anyway, there has been a lot of reckless driving. There was a very, very unfortunate fatal accident on Queen Street last week that was really sad. Good night, hon. And the residents are like, all right, we've had enough. What can we do?
Right.
So a lot of them signed the petition, and a lot of them actually did show up for the Borough Council meeting, which I know the Borough Council counselors are always saying, you got to show up. Don't just bitch on Facebook. You got to make yourself
let
heard.
us
You got to
know.
right.
And
So
I think the other part of it too is provide some solutions. Tell borough council and tell the police what you want them to do in your neighborhood.
Right.
I will say this.
And so I would like your perspective as a former law enforcement agent, because people say, oh, well, they should just do this. Or like, I don't think it's that easy to just put up a speed bump, like, or to
no.
to have a speed trap, if you will. Right.
So let's talk about the speed bumps, because
Right.
I know that has been proposed. So in order to put a speed bump up, you have to do a traffic study.
Right.
The speed bump has to be warranted by a traffic study,
Yeah.
especially if you're talking about a road like High Street, which is actually a state road.
A state road, right?
So there's certain criteria that need to be met in order to do that. Now, if it's a borough-controlled road, it's easier to do. The
Right.
borough manages those roads.
Right. But High Street, Hanover, 663 Charlotte Street.
King Street.
Right.
These
Those
are
are all state roads.
state-controlled roads.
Right.
So you would have to follow whatever rules are in place, and there are. There's a whole book of guidelines on traffic control.
Right.
So there's that. That requires manpower. That requires the police going out and conducting these traffic studies.
Right. And a
or
traffic study, does that measure not just the volume of traffic, but the average speed?
speeds. Exactly.
Okay.
I think a lot of people, and that requires manpower. It also requires money.
Equipment, like certain equipment
Absolutely.
to measure. Right.
Yes. Absolutely.
That's when you see those two strips right in a row on the street. right?
Everybody has seen the traffic, the slow down.
Yes.
the
But
traffic
also, they'll like
trailer.
sometimes they'll run like two
There's two
things
little
that
strips.
measure how fast a car is going.
That's a traffic counter. It also
Right.
counts speed. The
Yeah.
the two bumps of the tire, that's how you measure the speed,
Right.
right? To my point, though, everybody's seen the traffic trailer
Yes.
around town. That has a computer in it that records the data. When I was a police officer in the borough of Potstown, we would put that speed trailer out in neighborhoods where we had gotten complaints about speeding.
Right.
On average, the speed on any one of those roads is roughly 5 miles per hour over the speed limit. Roughly.
Right.
That's
so
an
most
average.
of these side streets are 25 miles per hour, right? Like a side street, like Queen Street, where that accident was, that would be a 25 mile an hour.
Yes.
Right. Which
All surface streets in the borough are 25
you
miles
can
per hour.
hardly even go 25 down Queen Street.
It's hard to keep certain cars even idling at 25
You're
miles.
right.
But yes, you get it.
Right.
So, but my point here is that I'm not saying that there's not a problem, because clearly there is. What I'm getting to is, for years, and the entire 8 years that I was on the Potstown Police Department, the community wanted us to focus on crime.
Right.
They wanted us to focus on noise disturbances, their neighbors outside yelling and screaming, fighting.
Right.
They wanted us to concentrate on drug issues and all the crime that went along with the drug issues.
Right.
It's hard for a relatively small size police department to focus on crime and simultaneously focus on traffic.
Right.
And the priority here in Potstown has been for years crime.
Right.
So if the community wants to reprioritize what the police's mission is, then they need to speak up.
Right.
The
right.
other thing too,
Which it sounds like they are doing.
Right.
But also when reckless driving and speeding leads to death, and it's pretty horrific. That was pretty horrific what happened.
Right.
And there seemed to be a lot of like cars going through front porches and cars going into buildings and
Right.
things like that. So I guess if it becomes enough of an issue that people feel unsafe, maybe we have the crime under control, that we don't feel unsafe from crime. Now we feel unsafe from traffic. Hey, didn't Diane Crum? Didn't you have a car through? Didn't she have a car go through her
Yeah,
house?
she lives in that corner there. It
Yeah.
was the porch, and I don't
the
think
porch.
it was her house. It was one of her neighbors.
Oh, okay. It was up in that little
She
block.
lives on that
yeah.
curve there on Hanover
Yeah.
Street. I'll say
Yeah, and
this
you're
too.
right, Diane. There is a problem with uninsured drivers. for sure.
And I'm just going to make a comment. I'm just making a comment to expose a historic fact.
Okay.
Some of the people that are complaining about this traffic, and we need traffic enforcement back in Potstown, are the same people that complained when the police cracked down on the cruisers and traffic problems. These are the same voices.
Right.
That wanted the cruisers to be left alone and cut us a break. We're just out here trying to have a good time. The cruisers got cracked down on.
Right, no cruising anymore. Though we do have some great cruise nights.
So think about what the repercussions of what you're asking for.
Well,
and are you going to be upset when it's you that gets pulled over on your way home from work?
For going 26.
Well,
right. Yeah.
The cop that pulls you over for going 1 mile over is a dick.
Well,
but let's say you get pulled over for 35 miles per hour in a 25 zone.
Well, then you're going too fast. That's too fast for a residential area.
Are people then going to show up at borough council meetings complaining that the cops are cracking down on residents and we're tired of your traffic tickets?
Right. I don't think so. I don't think they will.
We'll see.
I don't think they will.
See.
I think that most of the people that are speeding and zipping up and down and all around are not from in town. I think there's a lot of out of town people. A lot of New York license plates and tinted windows.
Okay.
Just saying. Yeah. But that's a hot topic right now in Potstown. Yeah.
And yes,
we've cooled off of neighborhood fireworks, now that we're past the 4th of July. And now
it's traffic.
And now it's traffic.
And
well, people got their windows open and they can hear the mufflers and the zooming and the speeding up and down.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes, uninsured and unlicensed drivers are a problem, but you have to find them.
Oh, yeah.
The police don't have a secret tool that tells us, oh, that guy in that car doesn't have a driver's license.
Yeah, or doesn't have insurance. Although Amy Morazes wanted us to remind people to check your registration since we no longer have the little sticker with the date on it.
Yeah,
she said, mention it as a PSA. So Amy Morazes, there you go. There's your PSA. Make sure that your registration is up to date since we don't have the sticker that we have to put on our license plate anymore.
Yeah.
Hey, I got a new car. I got a new car since we've been on break.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
You got the.
I got my EV. I got my electric vehicle.
Tell us about it.
Yeah, we're all electric family. So.
Do you like it?
I like it. Yeah, I like it a lot. It's zippy. Speaking of speeding, it is fast, but it's very quiet.
Because they don't have to ramp up. It's just automatic power.
Yeah. Yeah.
Patrick, my middle son, who's the mechanic, has been going down to Maple Grove to the drag strip to watch the races. He said there's a couple of Teslas down there that they've taken the governors off. They've reprogrammed.
What is
the
that?
governor on a Tesla is what keeps it from being able to go up to 200 miles per hour.
Yeah, and they're already pretty fast. So
they reprogram the computers to take that off. Those Teslas down there, the souped-up Teslas, are blowing everything off the track. Of course. Nothing can touch them.
They're very, very fast.
Yeah.
So that's a governor. Yes.
Yeah, that's a governor. That kind of governor.
He is also
not the governor.
Also
not the
racing
governor,
out of control.
Not the governor that just stepped down. He's just Italian. That's all. He's just Italian.
Very touchy-feely.
Anyway.
Yeah.
So you like your
I do.
Your
it's
EV.
a Volvo XC40 Recharge. And I love it. It's zippy. And I got it about 2 weeks before 4th of July, and I was hauling shit all over the place, and it was really great for cargo hauling. And, it changes the way that you travel. I have a 200-mile range on my car, so I have to just be mindful of how far I'm traveling and my time and charging and all of that. But mostly around town, I don't put more than 5 miles a day on my car, so...
So you're going to put a...
I sold my 2013 Mazda. It had 46,000 miles on it.
Brand new.
Yeah, big shout out to Carvana, too. That was like a super easy transaction. It was fantastic.
Did you get a good price for it?
Oh, my gosh. $4,000 more than what the dealership wanted to give me for the trade-in.
Nice. That's super
nice.
Now, let me ask you this. Are you going to be putting a charging station in over at the shop?
At the shop, no.
Also
known at the office, no, because we have a charger at home. So we have a Tesla charger at home, and Tesla has its own charging doodad.
Yeah.
So I got an adapter so I can use the Tesla charger in my car.
Mm-hmm.
Every time I plug that adapter in, I feel like Doc Brown at the end of Back to the Future when he's trying to plug in. He's got the wire coming down from the clock tower and he's trying to plug it in.
And the bolt of lightning goes through him to make the connection.
That's what I feel like every time I plug it in. But I love it. It's a great car and it's been a lot of fun. So hello, Gail. My mother-in-law is here. Diane, that was crazy when that happened on your porch. Craziness.
Yeah. So Deb Penrod really wants municipal police to get radar guns.
To get radar guns, well, that I would imagine is a cost issue.
That would be a cost issue.
Yes, how much is a radar gun?
You have to train them. Oh, they're not cheap.
Yeah.
You have to train the police on them.
Right.
Then they have to be calibrated.
And then also they got to be in the spot where that one speeder is for that one particular, right? So, like,
It's also a legal issue. It's against the law in Pennsylvania.
to track radar?
No. The municipal police are not authorized to use radar.
Oh,
in
right. That's only
Pennsylvania.
a state police
the
thing.
state police.
Right.
We ran it when I was a park ranger at Valley Forge because, of course, we were federal officers.
Right.
So the state prohibition didn't apply to us. So we had radar there.
In Valley Forge
Yeah,
Park?
because we had speeding problems on 23 and 252.
Oh, because those
People
go
cut-
through the park.
Yeah, people cut through the park.
Interesting.
So, yeah, we would
I was
write
thinking about going
speeding
down to
tickets.
Valley Forge this weekend for a hike.
Don't speed.
I will not speed.
You might get caught
but
by
do you know
radar.
they have an electric vehicle charging station there at
Do
the
they?
a lot of the federal or what do you call them national parks,
National parks have them.
have them.
They're going green.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yes, and we did see some on the turnpike when we went out to Pittsburgh.
I will say this just to make Deb happy, my mom, my stepmom. There's nothing stopping a municipal police officer for teaming up with a state police officer
Right.
who has a radar unit. And we used to do that on Route 100. We'd call up the state police and have them send
Right.
us a radar car, and he would run the radar for us, and we'd pull the bad guys
All right,
over.
so that maybe would be something that could be done
Sure.
as an initiative for
There's-
like
There's AccuTrack,
Mm-hmm.
which is basically a stopwatch. You stop the car, you
yeah.
time it. Mm-hmm. There's another system called NRAD that the Potstown police have. It's basically a signal, a radio signal that's shot across the road between two antennas.
Okay.
And as that car breaks that plane of the
Right.
radio signal, it sends the message back to the car that has the NRAD in it,
Right.
and it tells you what the
Yeah,
speed
so
limit.
it's all
That's
it's
just as
equipment,
good.
money, and manpower, just like
The
everything,
NRAD
just like everything else.
The NRAD is just as good as radar.
Right.
But you have to have that cop's got to be freed up to do that. That
Trained
means
to have the
trained,
equipment.
Have to have the
Right.
equipment, and you have to be able to free that cop's time up, so that during the 2 or 3 or 4 hours that he's going to be doing traffic enforcement, that's his job.
Right.
He's not answering a call
Or
because
her.
you're next, or her.
Yep.
They
Yep.
are not answering a call because your next door neighbor left his garden hose on, or you
Right.
saw somebody throw a candy wrapper and it didn't go into the trash, or
If they had to respond to those calls, that'd be all they were doing
Well,
all
we
day long.
did.
And we're going
And
to talk
I
about that
did.
next.
When
We're
I
going
was
to
a
talk
co-
about that next.
that's all I'm saying.
All right.
There's a
Yeah.
lot of
There's a lot to
of
there's
stuff.
a lot that has to go into it, and I think the most important thing that has to go into it is they have to be in that spot at that particular time where that car is going 55 down at 25.
That's
they,
right.
They have to be. There's a certain amount of timing. So like last year when we knew that down Walnut Street that motorcycle was coming down there all the time down Walnut Street, that would have been a good place to set up.
Right.
Well, if you have enough reports, I guess, from one intersection or one section, then that's where they're gonna. That's where they're gonna set up.
devote your time to that area.
Right.
You can free up 1, 2, 3 police
Right.
that you need and dedicate them
Yes.
to that job.
Yes.
But that means that they're not going to be there
Available
to
for other
answer
things.
Other things that you
Exactly.
might want them to do.
Yeah. So I also want to say hello to Joe Rusevich. Thank you for staying up so late, Joe, who says that it's his bedtime. I've been seeing Joe in the back in the alley.
What? That 6:35 is his bedtime?
Yeah, he said He said 6 o'clock is too late. It's his bedtime.
I'm sorry, Joe. You got outvoted. We had more votes for changing the time
Yeah.
to 6 o'clock than anything else.
Yes. And also, it's a little bit easier for Matt and I because we do still actually have jobs. We don't get paid to do this. We have paying jobs that we do until 5 o'clock.
By the way, I'm still
Yes?
doing that real estate stuff.
You are. I'm still doing the legal stuff.
Are you still doing
Yeah.
it? So if somebody has some real estate work,
Yeah.
they should call me up because I'm
Still doing it. So things are still pretty busy.
Yes.
Yeah.
They have slowed down. The market's starting to mellow out a little bit, balance out, but it still heavily favors the seller right now. If you have something to sell,
If you have something to sell and you don't have any place you need to go, that's the
it's the
win.
perfect time for that.
That's the
Yeah.
win. All right, you know who to call, folks.
Call me.
So what did I say I was going to talk about?
I don't know.
I don't know.
It
we
was
were talking
something
about
related to
trash.
traffic.
It was trash.
Trash.
No, trash.
Oh, okay.
Which I think is also that's not a police problem. Trash is not a
It
police
could be.
problem.
Littering.
It's definitely a public works problem because I see the storm drains and they are just jacked up with trash.
Mm-hmm.
It's definitely a borough issue, though. I think it's the if you've ever driven or gotten stuck behind a trash truck, you will know that they're not so careful.
Sometimes
Right.
things
Yeah.
fall off of the trash.
So when
truck.
I was at my parents' house, we were up in Connecticut for a week for vacation, which was lovely. I was watching with fascination. The trash truck is one guy driving it, one person driving it, and then there's an arm that comes out the side. It lifts the barrel and it dumps it neatly into the back of the truck, and there's zero spillage. But here we have manual trash haulers.
Well, there actually
and
is a device on the back of the trash trucks.
Yeah.
Our trash guys just don't
They
use
don't
it.
use it.
No.
Probably takes too long, right?
It might.
So this one came out the side. The one by my parents' house came out the side and lifted it in. So anyway, trash seems to be quite a popular issue. And it really affects. It's like the broken window theory, right? It's
Yeah.
trash. It's a very bad perception,
It gives people the impression that the people that live in that neighborhood don't care.
right? And that the town is crummy because it's got
Trashy.
trash. Right, it's trashy, right? So I read that the homeless shelter, for lack of a better word, I know that that's not what they're calling it, but the St. Al's homeless Al's Heartwarming Center wants to move to a permanent location on Charlotte Street, which is Charlotte between Walnut and Beach.
Okay.
Right, there's a big warehouse there. It's like you know where the permaculture garden is on Charlotte.
Yeah, so that
it's
would-
right across the street from it.
Yeah, and you're giving the cross streets out. That's actually Charlotte between Walnut. Yeah,
Walnut,
I'm sorry, you're
yeah,
right. Walnut and Beach.
Yeah,
You're
it's
right.
actually
I'm
between
wrong.
Walnut and whatever that alley is.
Union
And then there's that little park, Tom Hilton's Tree Park.
Tree Park.
Right.
But
so
you were right.
Yeah,
I was
thank
wrong.
you. Thank
Sorry.
you. You heard it here, folks. Yeah. So they're talking about putting it there, and there's a lot of pushback against having it be a permanent location as a homeless shelter. Again, I know I'm not using the right terminology. So as I was coming down Beach Street the other day going to work, I thought that section of Beach Street is always really bad with trash, like in front of Dino's there.
Yeah.
Right? And Tom's Park gets full of trash a lot. Now he has
I think
folks
I
that
see
go
where
in.
You're going.
Right? Do you think that maybe we can engage some of the folks that are using the services at the Al's Heartwarming Center to help with
Clean
some
up.
pride in the neighborhood? Just that block.
That would
like,
be interesting.
Like, so you've got the block. It's Walnut, Charlotte, Beach, Hanover. That one block. And okay, selfishly, it's my block.
Right.
It's almost Matt's block, right?
Yeah.
But there is a particularly bad trash problem on that block of Beach Street, and
It's probably because of the. It's
the-
because of the
of
corner
those.
store.
Yeah, there's a couple of corner stores.
People
There-
go
yeah.
in there,
Yeah.
and then they get what they get, and then
Yes.
they get a half a block or a block away.
Yeah.
Their drink's done, and
Yeah.
they just throw it on the ground.
So I just wonder, and at the risk of making a suggestion, because if you make a suggestion, sometimes you find that you're like,
you're going to be in charge of this.
But as I don't want to be a detractor from Al's Heartwarming Station because it is the concept for that and the name for it was named for and dreamt up by my friend Alan Altschul, who passed away last year. So I want to support it because it was Alan's baby. But I also want it to be the right thing for our neighborhood and the right thing for the town. And I know there's a lot of concerns about it being there. And so maybe that's some way that we could turn it into a positive, and it could be maybe the folks that are using those services can then really take pride in the neighborhood and have some ownership. I don't know. Just a thought.
It would be
Just a
interesting
thought.
to see.
I don't
if
want
there
to
would
oppose something without a suggestion for making it,
Yeah.
without suggesting something.
It would be interesting to see whether or not you could find some type of funds to maybe pay them, like a little bit of a stipend or something. And then, like you're saying, if they have the ability,
Right.
if you
Yeah.
stay at the heartwarming center, you can do X
Yeah.
amount of hours of work and receive.
Right, like a barter, like, yes. So Diane is saying she never had so many beer cans and or booze bottles trashed also as when it was at St. Al's. So I will agree with you, Diane. We saw a lot of coffee cups.
Yeah.
We did some cleanups this past spring in our neighborhood, and there was
Yeah.
a lot of coffee cups, like disposable coffee cups, that were disposed of on our block of Hanover Street right next to St. Al's. And I would have to guess that they were attributed to that location. They were all the same disposable coffee cups. They were very uniform. So,
I watched
Yeah.
it happen.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't know the right answer.
I don't either.
It would be nice if we could help the people that need the help, but it would also be nice if we could have them engaged and have some community pride like we do. Just a suggestion. Putting it out there. I got to direct that suggestion to the right people, though.
I want to say, too, that you can sponsor trash cans.
Yeah, so Susie Kennedy has one in front of her house.
Hobart's Run.
Yep.
So if you would like to see a trash can in a certain neighborhood,
And you're willing to take care of it, and that means that you're willing to
Empty it.
the trash. Right. We have one in front of our office.
Right.
You've sponsored one.
I've sponsored seven of those suckers.
7?
Seven.
Matt,
Is it working?
he's a trash king.
I have heard that it works in the neighborhoods.
Listen,
that
if
it
you
does.
put a
I
trash can
started
out,
with
people will
one.
use it. They will absolutely use it. We had one in front of our house, and people. Well, so the one that we have in front of our office, our regular trash disposal company that empties our office trash, empties it for us. So, Matt, what about the 7 that you've sponsored? Now, you sponsored them, but you don't maintain them. Is that right?
I do not maintain any of them
Right.
because they were adopted
Got
by
it.
either homeowners or businesses.
Okay.
So I don't take care of
So
them.
sponsored means it has your logo on it.
It has
you,
my
you
logo on
paid
it.
some
I
sort of
paid for
amount to
them.
support the program.
Yes,
And then
it
it was
was
placed at an adopters
Correct.
location.
Correct.
Right.
I will say this: if there's a Porchtonian watching who wants to adopt a trash can for a certain location, please let me know. I will pay for it.
Great. You heard it here, folks.
I will pay for it.
And you do not need to live within the Hobart's Run designated area to
No.
adopt a Hobart's Run trash can.
You
So,
do not.
like I said, Susie Kennedy, who lives on my block, adopted one, and it's there. And people will use a trash can if it's there. They absolutely will. We had to remove ours from the front because not our Hobart's one, just our own personal one, because somebody was putting their household trash in it. Sometimes you get new people in the neighborhood and they think, oh, a trash can, and put my household trash in there. So, but they will use it. I'm going to also put a cigarette butt container out in front of our house because we have a lot of cigarette butts out there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't find those as offensive as the
No, because
trash.
people just,
yeah
do
But
that.
if you get a collection of them in a single area,
Oh,
they
Judy
can
Green wants a trash can.
looks like I'm buying her a trash
Looks like you're
can.
buying a trash can. Art, you're on the hook for emptying it.
She's in the she is in the area that I told Hobart's Run that if they get a request from, I'm automatically going to sponsor those. But
Got it.
I'm going to say to Porchtonians outside of the area that
Okay.
I'm sponsoring, if you let Hobart's Run know that you saw it on Porchcast I will pay for the trash can if
Very
you adopt
nice.
it.
Matt Green at Glocker Real Estate.
I do
Real
not
Estate.
have time to adopt all of these trash cans.
No, you can sponsor, but you need people to take
Take care of it.
Yes.
I'll pay for it.
Yes, that's very nice. Very generous.
No problem.
Yes.
What else do we got to talk
All
about?
right. Well, I don't know. Are we getting to 6:45? I do have a little bit of announcements. I didn't have too many things, but there is some stuff going on around
Let's talk
town.
about it.
All right. Weekend update. Here we go. Oh wait, I just wanted to talk about a couple of other things before I get into the events.
The show's yours, Amy.
Well, it's yours too, Matt.
Well, you're the
Our friends
you're
at
the lady boss.
Our friends at Steel River, right next door.
That way.
So they
Is
are.
it that way? It's that way.
Oh, it's that way. Sorry, it's that way. Steel River. So they've got their summer camp going, and they've got a new season coming up. We're very excited for them. They are hiring. They are looking for a part-time facilities manager. And while I am very good at changing light bulbs and tightening up old doorknobs and emptying trash, and I lit the pilot light on our hot water heater the other day. I'm really good at that kind of stuff. But
Right.
I already have a job, so I will not be applying for the facilities manager at Steel River. But if you are looking for a part-time job, that sounds like something that you would like to do, and you want to go work at a really cool place with a lot of really fun people, then go to Steel River.
Apply.
Apply.
I
Yeah.
put the link to the job announcement up on Matt Green at Glocker Real Estate. So if you
Excellent.
stay on the page that you might be watching this show on,
You can find
there's-
it there.
You can find it right there.
Yep. Excellent. And then our friend Kevin at Coffee Smith has a new flavor that just came out. I wanted to give Kev a little shout out.
Yeah.
It is a caramel chocolate blackberry. What? I don't even know what that all is.
Caramel, chocolate,
Yeah.
blackberry.
Yes. But
Okay.
he had some sort of special deal with the first certain number of people that ordered it, got a little discount. So check it out. I know that we have some Coffee Smith fans out there, so check out Kev's new flavor. And special shout out to Kelly for catching the mouse. Had a little mouse issue between our places. Matt's got a little mouse issue too, so shoot us your mouse trapping tips if you know.
I would love to know.
Peanut butter doesn't seem to be doing it.
Peanut butter doesn't
Cheese,
work.
maybe.
I'm going to
Yeah.
switch over to Velveeta. I have a little bit
That
of Velveeta.
John is good.
It is.
It's so
I use it to
good.
make mac and cheese.
It's so good.
And
Why
it
is
does-
it so good? It's not even real cheese, is
I
it?
know.
It's delicious.
But it does.
It takes you right back to the 70s, Velveeta.
It makes your mac and cheese
Creamy.
more creamy.
Yeah.
So I use a blend of real cheese
Mm-hmm.
and Velveeta.
Sounds delicious.
Ah. Ken Butler's
right.
saying that they have one at Victory Christian Life Center. I sponsored that
He
one.
doesn't know who
That
takes
was
care of it?
That was the first one that I
Yeah.
sponsored. And I thought they were taking care of it.
Somebody's taking care of it.
Somebody's taking care of it.
Right. Well, thank you.
I sponsored that one because Pastor Brooks really helped me get started in real estate
Nice.
here in Potstown.
Oh, that's
Made
a very
lot
nice-
of connections for me and helped me start the home buyers education seminars that I did
Right.
that I kind of got known for. And without his help and assistance, I would not have experienced that success
Very nice.
as quick as I did.
It's a very
So
nice thank you.
I have a lot of respect for Reggie Brooks and
Nice.
the folks over there at Victory Christian Life Center.
Great. And
Yep.
they're over there on, is it
King and Washington.
Washington,
Yep.
right.
Great
Yeah.
Great
right across from
neighborhood.
that little bodega that you said has good food.
banging food.
Right.
Banging food. Now, I don't know
Yeah.
what the name of it was or is now. It was Torres Grocery.
Right.
I don't
think
know what it is now.
I drive past it every day. I'll have to look.
If you get the opportunity to get some food from there, it's unbelievable.
Elizabeth Yoder says the mice are getting too smart. We had a problem too. Yeah. So I don't. Kelly said that she actually forgot to bait it, and she trapped the mouse. So
must
it
have
just ran by dumbly.
All right. Heather Moyer Daly
Yes.
is giving us an update here. The Potstown Middle School free, folks.
Free.
Before and after school program
Wow.
is registering for the 2021-2022 school year. Pride PSD. Pride PSD. If you Google Pride PSD,
Wow.
their pages are going to come up.
So is that, I know we talked about this, Heather, so I'm sorry. That's part of the 21st century?
It was,
Or it was.
formerly. I think
Got
it's
it.
something
It's got a
else
different
now.
name, but the same,
But
it's a grant
same idea.
that allows the before and after school program. So she says they're offering makerspace with 3D printers and 2 Crickets, which are the machines that people use to like put stuff on stuff. They print out
Like
decals and things like that.
Okay.
Yeah. And then also Spanish instruction as additions this year. That's fantastic.
Pride PSD is their Facebook page. So if you go to Facebook, in the Facebook search bar,
Yes.
put in
Pride
Pride
PSD.
PSD,
Got
and they're
it.
going to pop up.
Got it.
Tell your friends.
Yeah.
It's a great program.
Fantastic.
Great
and that's
stuff.
at the middle school.
Yes.
Yeah. So that's a weird age for kids. Like, you don't want them to be home alone, really. They're kind of old enough, but they're not really old enough. So it's great that there's this opportunity for kids to have a program before school or after school. That's when you want to be home, not when your kid's a baby. Stick them in daycare. Anybody can take care of them. You got to be home when they're 12, 13, and 14. They need to have supervision.
Well, let's
Seriously.
talk about
You know
daycare.
I'm right, Deb.
Uh-oh. Let's talk about daycare, though. Let's
Yeah?
talk about daycare.
What about it?
Because Potstown has the Peak Pre-K
Yes.
program.
Yes.
So if you have a kid who's aged, I think, 4,
Three?
or 4.
4 definitely. 4 is definitely the 4K.
definitely.
I think peak is the 3
Three.
years old. Yeah.
Yeah. It's all-day program.
Yeah.
Guess how much it costs?
How much does it cost, Matt?
It's free.
Wow. I think that's a real benefit
They're
for
enrolling
Potstown.
now, too.
Yeah.
It is a super
Yeah,
benefit.
I think that people should look to be like, oh my gosh, I want to move to Potstown. Look at what this school district does.
Think about all the money that a family can save on daycare by getting their
Yes.
3 or 4-year-old enrolled in a free full-day
And
program.
also to get them started on the
A
right
jump
path,
start.
which is what the whole purpose
That's the
of
whole
the
purpose of it.
program. Right. Win, win, win.
Win, win,
Yes. So Heather also says that they environmental science, which our kids were involved
Yes.
in, and an aquaponics tank, whatever that is. That sounds great.
That's like where you build one of those little environments inside of a tank, like a fish tank. Like,
Like a terrarium, but
Yes.
a aquarium.
yeah,
Aquarium.
that's cool.
That's actually
Listen,
a word.
my kids,
Yeah.
Patrick is now 18, off working
Right.
at Heritage Coach.
Yep. Great job that he got because of his involvement in the
in
CTE.
Right. Adam is 16, getting ready to be a junior. They still talk about what they did in environmental
science, yeah.
in middle school.
Yep.
And Harrison was in
Harrison
environmental.
was it. Yep, loved
Actually,
it.
Harrison was in it the same time Patrick
Yep.
was. Yeah. They
Yep.
loved it.
Loved it. Fantastic. Good stuff. Okay, now we're ready for some events here.
Lay it on us, sister.
All right. This weekend, yoga at Riverfront Park at 8 a.m. That is sponsored by Samana Holistic Center, one of my favorite places, and Parks and Recreation Department, also my favorites. Andy and Michael, love those people. I just have to give one more shout out on Go Forth to Potstown Police Department, Parks and Recreation,
Nice.
paid. I know I'm forgetting somebody, but all the borough-involved folks were really fantastic. So, okay, so that's Riverfront Park at 8 a.m. I've done that several times when I can get up and get down there by 8 a.m. on a Saturday morning, and I love it. Sunday, August 15th, at noon, there's a craft show at the Alley. They do that about once a month. They've always got some nice crafters there at the Alley. Also, this Saturday at 4 p.m., there is an outdoor car show sponsored by the Potstown Classics Car Club. This is at the Coventry Mall, formerly known as the Norco Mall, located between Joann's Fabrics and Gabe's.
What are they doing over there?
Outdoor car show, sponsored by the Potstown Classics Car Club. So that's from
Fighters.
4 to 9
Okay.
at the Norco Mall on Saturday. Sly Fox has a band. People I know are clamoring for live music now that they're able to go out for live music. So next Wednesday at 6 to 9, the band with no name at Sly Fox. I've never heard them, but I've heard of them. So that's at Sly Fox Tasting Room. Assuming that's going to be outside, so if you're a little squeamish about being inside, they've got a great space out there.
Yeah.
Yep. Sheila Dugan sent me a bunch of stuff for Potstown Farm, which looks like it's having a great season. I've been down there a bunch of times this year. Really nice, great vendors. On August 21st will be their next Potstown Farm down at Smith Family Plaza. And they are doing fundraising for Operation 143, formerly known as Operation Backpack. So please bring an item to help fill the backpacks. So any non-perishable food item for the kids for their backpacks. Small bottles of water, tuna fish, granola bars, that kind of stuff. They have on September 4th butterfly tagging from 11 to 1. Butterfly tagging.
What? How?
Join us from 11 to 1 on September 4th for a talk about the monarch butterflies and their travel path, followed by tagging and release of the butterflies. Release time is not absolute. Be sure to get to the market early to see this amazing butterfly release. Well, there's a picture there, and it's got a little tag on the butterfly.
Okay.
So does that, I guess, track them?
I don't know.
I'm not sure. Sheila, tell us.
Would it change the aerodynamics of the...
Like if you have it on one wing,
yeah, he's gonna
be off kilter?
Is that going to...
I don't know. We need to know more. Sheila, please. We need to know more about the tagging. I will do research and report back. And then I know this is a way away, but yes, that's the butterflies are going to be all over the place. October 30th, they are having a bunch of Halloween events at the farm. Pumpkin painting, costume parade, mini golf, all sorts of stuff going on downtown October 30th. For Halloween, including something called History and Haunts of Potstown. I'm very excited about that.
Where's this happening at?
Downtown.
Oh, just downtown.
Yeah, at the farm. History and Haunts of Potstown. It's like a ghost tour. Sheila and I have been talking about this forever and ever, so I'm glad that came to fruition, and I'm anxious to participate in that. August 27th is the 4th annual Sidewalk Chalk Festival at the Carousel. That is in conjunction with Final Friday. So I think that's a 5 p.m. I'm sorry, I don't have the time for you folks. So that's Final Friday at the Carousel, August 27th, Sidewalk Chalk Festival. That's presented by Potstown Community Arts and Mosaic Community Land Trust.
They've been doing that for years, and the kids seem to really
It's the 4th annual, so at least 4
years.
4 years. Right.
I was replying to
I know
Kenny
you were
Butler.
writing. You were on the staying up with all the comments. Thank you.
Yeah. Kenny's just saying that he still thinks Torres Grocery is still called Torres Grocery, but he's going to update us.
Got it.
Because
we'll have some breaking news. Thank you,
He's
Kenny.
one of the pastors at Victory Christian Life Center, so he'll
he's over
check
there.
for us.
Good.
I can't say it enough. The food there is awesome.
Right.
Liz Yoder was talking about her son James also took a part in the after-school program in the middle school. He's still talking about it. She's still talking about it.
Great.
I think James is 23 or 24
Oh, awesome.
now.
I love
He's in
that.
his 20s.
Right.
Works up at the, he's one of the butchers at Redner's.
Oh, nice.
Still talking about what
Yeah.
he did at the middle school.
Great. So that's what you want.
Yeah.
Kids to look back and say, "Oh, I had the best time in middle school." Right? That's what we're hoping for. You'll go forth. We want kids to say, "Oh,
he's
my
27.
My town."
Excuse me, he's
27,
27.
right? Yeah. So 15 years later, still talking about it. But we want people to say, "Oh, my town had the best 4th of July. Oh, it was so much fun 4th of July in my town." Like that's what we're hoping for. We had the parade,
And
Love
there's
it.
a lot of cool stuff.
Yeah. Excellent.
We're trying to spread this
All right.
positive message, folks.
And one thing that I love is the Schuylkill River Greenways. So they are having the Ride for the River Saturday, September 25th. Schuylkill River Greenways National Heritage Area and Sly Fox Brewery are teaming up to host the Ride for the River, a beautiful bike ride on the Schuylkill River Trail in Montgomery and Berks counties. The ride includes snacks and water at rest stops, ride support, and well-marked routes. The event is held in conjunction with the Sly Fox Can Jam, which is always a very popular event. Each registration for the Ride for the River includes a meal ticket and a beer/beverage ticket for the festival. I don't have costs or anything, but there's options for a family fun ride, which is a 4-mile round trip a 16-mile round-trip ride or a 35-mile round-trip ride. So you can sign up or register for one of these 3 levels of rides. The money will go to support the Schuylkill River Greenways National Heritage Area, which maintains the Schuylkill River Trail through our area, well, through the whole thing. And it is a absolute treasure. How about it, Deb? Right?
I go
Treasure.
walking down there with the lovely Chris Golden.
Yeah.
And I use it to access a couple of my favorite fishing holes along the Schuylkill River.
It is
Yeah.
a delightful little oasis that we have in Potstown. And really, the Schuylkill River Trail goes all the way from Philly to...
The kayak ride.
Yes. Yes.
So it is the presence of that in our community is
I don't think that people...
encouraging people to get outside and do things.
I don't think that people realize what an asset it is and what a potential tourism asset
it's huge.
it is through Potstown. Like I think that when the trail is fully hooked up and people can really very easily ride from Philadelphia all the way up to Schuylkill Haven or wherever it ends.
Yes.
Pottstown is essentially halfway.
Yeah.
It's about 45 miles, right?
Yeah.
So it would be a natural place for people to stop, spend the night at a little Airbnb or a little boutique hotel formerly located, in the Mercury building. So yeah, it really is. It has the potential to be a major tourist boost to our area. So
and just people just spending the day. I mean, I know I go to other communities and do the exact same thing. I've been out and about and launched my
let's
kayak.
go spend the day in wherever.
Yeah. Launch my kayak or
Hey, I did
go
some
take a
ocean
walk.
kayaking.
Let me ask you
I did.
this, because you seem to be an example of what I'm gonna. The question
I seem to be not outdoorsy. Is that what you?
You are not outdoorsy.
No, I'm not.
I'm
I
not
like
talking out of
being
school,
outdoors. Yeah.
But you do. Would you have ever gotten into kayaking if it wasn't for the presence of that here in our community?
Ever. I never would have even thought about renting a kayak up on the Long Island Sound where my parents live if I hadn't done it here.
So you were inspired by
Absolutely.
Potstown.
Yeah.
There you go.
There you go. And so we did the ocean kayaking. Now it's the Long Island Sound. So it's not like we were, it wasn't like Hawaii 5-0. It was still pretty placid. But, here it's easy. They drop you in upriver and you just float. You just have to steer. Yeah. So we, at the deepest, right? So we did have to propel ourselves. It was a little bit of a workout. We went, I don't even know what we went, like a mile and a half and then a mile and a half back. I was like, oh my gosh, were we gone for 3 hours? An hour. We were gone for an hour.
15 minutes.
No, it was an hour. But
So that inspired you.
Yes, it's absolutely did. Yep.
So it's got to be, you're just one example, you know what I mean? It's got to be a repeatable story. There's other people
and
that
I
are being
love
inspired.
that we have this, that we live in an urban environment, but we have all of this nature so close by.
As
Yes,
I've
Jamie
been
Sanchez, you are absolutely right. If you're bored, you're not paying attention to what's going on around. There is always something happening, always.
As I've been sitting here, there's been a steady stream of foot traffic of people walking back and forth, going to now some of these shops and businesses that are now opened on High Street. I just watched this family across the street get out of their car over at the parking lot. Now they're, I don't know, going down to the Blue Elephant or some other place.
Great.
And it's been a steady
I
stream
love
of
it.
people walking
We've
by.
been waiting a long time for this.
Here it is.
All right. All right.
Listen,
Oh,
folks,
it's 7
it's
o'clock.
7:03.
Dang. Yeah.
Do you have any more news?
No, that's it.
All right, I'm going to break it down here at the end
Yes,
of the show.
absolutely. So we've been talking about shooting down here at the pub for a long time, and we thank you to Adam and Amanda, and I don't know the other waitress's name. She's very friendly. They're always friendly here. And get the loaded tots because they're delicious. Yes. So if you happen to be outside and you're drinking some fine adult beverages at Iron Gate or the Alley, you can order from the pub and they will bring the food over to you. So that way you can support 2 businesses at once. But the best part about coming to the pub is that you can almost guarantee that you will be able to see Deb Penrod and have a very interesting chat. Sometimes you will get to see Bill Brogley. Tonight you could see Terry Fetterman and the Bainbridges. The pub is my place because
Yes.
I will always see somebody I know, and even if I don't see anybody I know, I feel comfortable coming down here and having a beverage and a meal by myself.
Yes,
Love
I
it.
agree.
Love it.
100%.
All right.
Thanks, Adam Burke, for having us here at Pub. I don't know the address here, but it's in the 200 block of High Street, right across the street from
It's
the
right
very
near
best.
this fire hydrant.
Right near that fire hydrant. Right there.
2:30 something.
Somebody's
I don't even
saying go Steelers. It
That's
seems like
Jamie.
it's still too summery to be talking about
Yes.
football.
Certainly.
I'm pointing to things. The very best, Once
Yeah.
Upon a Time, Boost Mobile.
Yeah.
Tompkins
If you
Disc
happen to be
Bank.
going to the Fête en Blanc, if you were lucky enough to get tickets, Gina over at Once Upon a Time has a lot of great stuff in the window if you are looking for a white outfit to wear.
Yes.
All right, that's it. We're shutting up now.
Go Eagles. Listen, here's where we're at. We're across the street from the very best at the pub. We're thanking Adam for hosting us. We will probably be back here on some type of regular
basis. Yeah.
This is what our dream was, so now we're finally achieving it.
Finally reaching our dream.
I do want to tell everybody that we are doing a time and schedule change for Porchcast Pottstown. So please spread the word to all the other Porchtonians. We will be on Thursday nights at 6-ish.
Yes.
Thursday nights.
Heavy on the ish. No,
Heavy on
we're
the
usually
ish.
pretty.
We're
we're pretty on it.
kind of good.
Yeah.
Thursday nights at 6 will be the new time for Porchcast Pottstown. You can find us on Matt Green at Glocker Real Estate or Porchcast Pottstown on YouTube. Go check out our YouTube channel. We have past episodes up there, and we're looking for people to become subscribers on YouTube.
Thanks for tuning in.
I am Matt Green. I am your local real estate expert, still doing that real estate stuff. Give me a call. I can help you out anywhere in Pottstown and the Tri-County area.
And the surrounding area.
That's right. Amy Wolf is the business manager at Wolf Baldwin and Associates.
And chief light bulb changer.
There you go. Bottle washer,
Yeah.
pot scrubber.
Trash taker outer.
Trash taker outer, business manager. At Wolf Baldwin Associates, bringing you fine legal service in the borough of Pottstown since 1973. We are Porchcast. Let's talk soon.
Have a great weekend.